Ladies and gentlemen, we are the fourth quarter fanatics. I am Pat, aka Selfless underscore Gaming. This is my bro, Jacob. As you all know, little Jacob in the chat and stuff for all of you that have been around the community. We're going to break down UFC 291, baby. 291. Little Jacob, I'm going to let you lead off with all like your socials and everything.
Yeah, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. It's Little Jacob with an E. Well, the three instead of an E. And you can find me on those socials. Also have a Facebook page if you guys are on Facebook often. I also have one for there as well, so you can hit me up on those different platforms.
Um, you can find me, Selfless underscore Gaming, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, all that stuff. Pretty much everywhere, pretty much on everything. We also have a Twitter page, Fourth Quarter Fanatics, as well, where we post a lot of sports content, give our opinions, and like do some polls and stuff on there as well. So feel free to follow the Fourth Quarter Fanatics Twitter page as well. It'll be awesome. Grow that social site. All right, man. What do you want to start with first? What fight you want to break down first?
I mean, honestly, we definitely don't have time to go through all of them because there's like early prelims and then prelims. But I mean, we could go with just the main card. I think Kevin Holland fight and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name Michael Chase. It's gonna be a pretty good fight. That's the first fight that's coming up. Um, Kevin Holland has just been like on a tear recently. I mean, the dude's just a badass, man. One of my buddies was fortunate enough to meet him like twice. He's a real cool dude. Uh, he's 24-9 with one no contest. So basically a draw. He has a pretty big advantage in this fight. I mean, he won his last fight. The other guy's coming off a loss. He does have a significant reach advantage on this other guy, Michael. He's got about an 81-inch reach, and I think Michael's like 75 and 75, 76, maybe 75 and a half.
Yeah.
So that's definitely going to be an advantage for Kevin Holland. He's really good being up on his feet. And he's pretty quick at striking. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. But I think everybody feels pretty confident about Kevin Holland winning this fight. The other guy's ranked, Kevin Holland isn't, but I think he's trending towards getting to that position where he could possibly get himself in a title fight. I mean, he is an exciting fighter to watch. He can get down on the ground a bit, but definitely does his best work being on his feet for sure.
What do you like? I feel like this card, like before we jump to other fights and stuff, I feel like this card is going to have a lot of like stand-up fighters in it and like people who get after it, which is really exciting. But where do you see Kevin Holland? Because they're both 170, and Kevin Holland's 6'3", and then Michael's 6'1". And it's like you said, there's a huge reach advantage there. But where do you see like this fight going? Like, how do you see it kind of playing out as far as like who you think is going to come out on top? Where you think it might end at? And I know Kevin's been on a tear lately, but like, do you think if he wins this fight, he might be in contention for a title shot?
I think he should be. I mean, a lot of his fights have been won like more than convincingly. If it's not been a knockout, it's just been a dominating performance. Yeah, it hasn't really been close, and it's not like he's just fighting, just random guys. He's fought some pretty tough dudes. And I mean, the way this fight's probably gonna end up going is, I mean, I think Kevin Holland's just gonna pick him apart. From the
Yeah.
beginning, he's probably gonna throw a lot of jabs out there. He's pretty good kicker too. I mean, he's gonna throw some kicks out. He's gonna get kind of Michael out of his comfort zone. I think Michael is kind of used to fighting guys that are more willing like to stay in his box and kind of like in his space. But Kevin Holland will be in and out a lot with his strikes, and
Okay.
with that reach advantage that he has and just the ability that he has to and the power that he has behind it. I mean, I can really see him just picking him apart, and I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't get to the third round. It might, but I think by the time if it does get to the third round, Michael's going to be pretty banged up from Kevin Holland. I think the only place that maybe Kevin Holland might have some trouble is if he gets taken to the ground too much, or gets put in a position that's going to make it difficult for him to get out of, and it burns a lot of the clock and the stamina. But that usually isn't the case with Kevin Holland. And even in times when he's been in positions where he looks like he's going to get submitted. He's gotten out of it. I mean, there's even like there's a meme. I don't have it on hand, and I should have got it, but he's basically looks like he's getting freaking choked out. Like he's on the floor, like
Yeah.
or not, and he's getting choked out, and he just has his like the entire time. He just looks up at the at the ref, and he's just got his thumb up, like, yeah, I'm good, I'm good. Like this, like so the fuck what? I'm getting choked out. I don't care. So he's a tough dude to take down, man. But I think at the end of the day, he's probably just gonna land more strikes and more precise strikes, even if it went to a decision. I think this is a fight that Kevin Holland is set to win. But of course, nothing's easy. In the
Yeah.
UFC, it only takes one good punch or kick, and it really mess you up. But I think Kevin Holland's got this one in the bag, man.
I,
Honestly, he's just I think too dynamic for Michael. He's gonna be fighting.
I do think Kevin's gonna win the fight. Like if I had to put money on it, my money would be going towards him.
Yeah.
He's favored -150. Michael's plus 125. I am concerned though with Michael's ability as far as takedowns because just kind of like reading into this fight and like what both athletes can bring to the table. Michael has a takedown advantage of 3.39, and Kevin's takedown advantage is 0.84. And his takedown accuracy for Michael's 54%. So he pretty much lands every takedown that he goes for half the time, like 1 out of 2.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like obviously Kevin likes to stand, he can throw. He's very athletic and he's very unorthodox with his like striking. But I could definitely see Michael's plan coming into this of, hey, let's, like you said, let's try to gas him out. Let's try to, gas him out on the ground, get him down as much as we can, and see where it ends up going from there. Who's the champ right now at 170?
I would have to look that up actually. The champ at 170.
I think I on the top of my head. I keep yawning now. I need to look that up. Divisional rankings. Hold on. Let's check this out. See what it tells.
Too is like, yeah. While you look that up, yeah. And another thing too is Kevin Holland's pretty underrated when it comes to his kicks. I mean, he can kick with the best of them. I mean, he doesn't have a like a wide range of kicks that he throws. Like as far as like the kind of kicks he throws, but when he does, he's usually pretty spot on.
Leon Edwards is the welterweight champion right now.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's right. That makes sense.
He won it back in August 2022. So he's been a champ for over a year.
Yeah, they haven't been able to take it away from him. So
yeah. All right.
He needs to give people the fight that they want.
Let's see here. Oh crap! Where did I just go? All right. What's the next one on the card?
After that, I think. Hold on, let me check.
We got Tony Ferguson and Bobby Green. Tony Ferguson, baby. What are you thinking all about this one, dude? Tony Ferguson can take some punishment, man.
Yeah, but that's the issue. Is that he's at the end of his career. I mean,
yeah.
He's and I say this respectfully, but the guy's old. He's been in the UFC a long time. He's a tough dude. I mean, obviously, just to be in the UFC in general, it's really, you have to be tough. But he's just taken a lot of damage over his career at this point. And the last fight he was in, he did lose. It definitely wasn't his best performance. I really don't see him being like where his ceiling is right now. You know what I mean? Like where he's at.
Yeah.
I really don't see him being able to surpass that enough to beat this dude Green. It's just this dude Bobby Green is. I mean, he's a badass man, dude. Like,
yeah,
he's got a lot of powerful strikes. The last fight was a no contest, but I mean, it was still a pretty evenly matched fight. He's a little bit bigger than Tony. They probably weighed in. I don't know. Tony, they probably weighed in at the same weight. But I think come fight day, I think Tony's gonna be a bit lighter than Bobby Green is.
Oh yeah, Bobby's definitely gonna probably put on 10 pounds for sure.
Yeah, and I think that one smart thing that Bobby would probably try to do is he'll probably try to if he can get Tony Ferguson like up against the cage and stuff, like he'll really put his weight on him, and try to tire him and burn him out. maybe get him to the ground. And if he can do that successfully, I mean, it's really gonna work in his favor. Um, I mean, and don't get me wrong, Tony Ferguson is still a decent striker. I mean, he can still get it, catch him, but so is Bobby Green. And
Yeah.
he's proved that before because he's dropped quite a couple dudes before already in his career. Um, so yeah, I don't know, man. The odds, I wouldn't bet on Ferguson as much as I do like him and I'm a fan of his. But it's just at this point in his career, I don't think it's his time right now.
Yeah.
Bobby Green's gonna try to come out there and knock his head off, and I think if anything, it probably could go the distance. Um, Bobby Green definitely has the ability to knock him out, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. But I don't see Tony Ferguson being able to do enough to take him down, and win the fight.
Yeah, I think in this fight here, personally, I see Tony taking more of an approach because he definitely has like a 5 inch reach advantage over Bobby. And I see him taking more of an approach of kind of like jabbing it out, getting the range and establishing his range because, like, I agree with what you're saying. You definitely don't want to be in Bobby's box because he'll definitely knock you out. And
Yeah.
Tony's definitely been susceptible to, taking a lot of punishment over the years and that stuff. Just as we know from any athletics like sport that you play, the more punishment and stuff your body endures just over time, your body just can't handle it like it used to. He's 39 now too. He's had 34 fights and everything, so he's definitely seen his time.
Yeah.
Um, it does say that he's a pound heavier, Bobby is, but if Bobby walked out there and they put a scale in the ring like tomorrow, it would
Yeah,
not
he's gonna
surprise
be.
me if it said 170. Like, it would not surprise me if he blew up. Because they do weigh-ins, what, Thursday? Is that when the weigh-ins are?
Yeah, so like they'll do the weigh-ins, and then like for most people that know, or maybe you don't know, like guys will normally dehydrate themselves so that they can make weight. Um, because like it can be tough to be moving. You know how it is. Selfless. It can be tough moving up and down weight. So a lot of time guys kind of get close to that weight, and then they'll dehydrate themselves so that when they go up on that weight scale, they've met weight. But then come fight day, it's like you're hydrated again and you're kind of bulked up again. And I think at that point, kind of like what you're alluding to, is that Bobby Green is just basically going to be just heavier and bigger
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
than Tony Ferguson overall. One thing that Ferguson does have working in his favor, he does have 8 wins by submission in his career. So there is
That's
the
true.
potential that if he could be on the ground and tire out Bobby, and Bobby isn't able to use his weight against him, he might be able to catch him into something. But it's tough. Ferguson also has pretty good takedown defense. I mean, his entire career, it's like 67%. It says
Yeah.
that he's been able to defend himself successfully from being taken down. So, that's another interesting thing to see. Um, and then like, hey,
Pay attention to me.
yeah, I don't know if she agrees with what I'm saying. But no, Bobby Green's him himself. He also has 8 wins by submission. Here's the thing too, though. Why I was saying that about Tony is because his takedown accuracy or is not the best. So that's another thing. He does have pretty good takedown defense, but his takedown accuracy is not the best, like 38%.
Yeah.
Here's the scary thing about Bobby Green though, that people are gonna have to watch out for in that very first round, is that he does have 10 knockouts, and those 10 knockouts were first round finishes. Like the first round, boom, 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 I'm knocking your block off. So, I expect him to come out being really aggressive, for sure in this fight.
Yeah, he's a big
Um,
favorite in this fight. He's negative 390 and Tony Ferguson's plus 300. That's a pretty big
yeah,
swing to one direction of where a lot of the bettors in Vegas and everybody think like who's coming out as the winner on this fight. So
yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me.
It's
Um,
kind of one of those things where it's like, is Father Time gonna kind of prevent Ferguson from getting as far as he really can be, and Bobby Green gonna just come out there and knock set up? It's gonna be cool. I mean, you never know. You never know what might happen. That's the best thing about these fights. That's why these cards are so good, because everyone in there has a potential to knock the other guy out, even if like they aren't favored.
yeah,
You know, so That's what's gonna be interesting about this fight. Tony Ferguson's kind of, he's still got some gas in the tank, but he is gonna get up there in the age. And Bobby Green is, he's just dangerous. I can see this going to the last round and maybe to decision. But we'll see. Bobby Green has been pretty impactful as far as just from the jump in the first round. So yeah, I'm very
Sometimes with
interested to see what
fighters
happens
like that, though, like guys who have all of a sudden established themselves of,
Mm-hmm.
they're knocking people out first round. They're not really like going the distance and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes they get in a situation where it's like, you train and stuff's over real quick, and then you find yourself against a guy who's durable and can continue to withstand punishment and come after you. And you find
Yeah,
yourself
and
becoming gassed.
yeah, and then you're like, why the fuck are you not going down?
Yeah,
How do you keep the like? Those are kind of, in my opinion, I think a guy like that in the UFC is more scary to me than a guy that'll knock your block off, because it's like, dude, you don't fucking go down, and
yeah,
I'm hitting
yeah.
you in the mouth, in the
Yep.
face, and it's not doing anything. That's probably more intimidating to me than somebody that's like knocking people out, is somebody who just doesn't quit and you just can't put down. That's pretty scary. Um,
So
but yeah,
are you going Bobby Green in this one?
yeah, I think Bobby Green is
I
gonna
agree
win.
with you there too. Like I like that pick. So we got Kevin Holland, we got Bobby Green so far.
Yeah,
Next one here, we got the heavyweights, baby. We
dude.
got Big Daddy D, Derek Lewis, back in the ring against
Yeah,
Marcos Rogero de Lima. Um, Marcos is from Brazil, 6'1", 262. Derek Lewis is from the United States, 6'3", 264. If y'all haven't seen Derek Lewis fight, one of the guys hilarious. He's kind of likes to clown and always have a good time.
yeah,
But
he jokes around a lot.
the guy throws bombs. He definitely throws bombs.
Yeah.
There's been some fights where he's been getting rocked and stuff, and he just has that
Oh
one
man,
knockout potential where he can just throw that right punch, catch him, knock him out clean. I don't know much about Marcos though. Let's see here.
I mean, Derek Lewis is, his nickname is a Black Beast, and that's for a reason. The man's a freaking monster. Like, he's ranked number 10 in the division. I mean, he has 21 wins by knockout. 8 of
Yeah.
those were in the first round, but it's just like, it just lets you know that if the guy has 20, okay, so he has 26 wins total. 21 of those are knockouts. So that really just speaks to the kind of power and this, that he has when he's throwing. Um,
One thing with Derek too is like every fight that I've watched of his,
mhm.
the thing that is always in question, it's never about like how's his striking going to be, how's his takedown defense going to be tonight. It's always what type of shape is he in,
Yeah.
like where is his cardio at, how was he throughout camp, like what are we going to see tonight and stuff. Because you have his fights where he comes out, looks great, and he dominates, and then there's other ones where it's like after the first round he's over there like needing an oxygen tank, like just dying, and struggling to get through
Yeah.
the fight. So what about Marcus though? Like, what do you know about him? Because it looks like he has pretty good takedown ability. His takedown average is 1.35, and then his accuracy is like 47%. He doesn't really have a submission average though.
No, but he has won a couple times by submission, so he's definitely better on the ground. Um, the thing is that he does have 15 first round finishes, and one of
Ooh,
those was
really?
submission. Yeah, 15 finishes. One of those is submission, and the other 14 are knockouts. So he does have the potential to put Lewis on the mat and
Bro,
knock him on his ass.
this might be fight of the night.
No, yeah, I mean it's gonna be. I was gonna say, but I forgot to say that if you ever used to watch wrestling and they used to say it's gonna be an old fashioned slobber knocker. That's what this is gonna be. There's gonna be slobber getting knocked on that mat and probably blood too, because these guys are gonna be. I really don't see these guys going to the ground much at all. I mean, I hope they don't.
Yeah.
I hope they really go out there and they're just swinging and going at it. But that's what makes this fight exciting, this heavyweight bout, because these two dudes have a lot of power and they're gonna be ready to go out there and just let it rip. Because like we talked about, both these guys have quite a few finishes in the first round, and overall in their career they have a good number of knockouts, more than 12. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be close. I mean, um, Marcos is favored. His last fight was pretty solid. He did win. Derek Lewis did lose his last fight because he did get oh, he got hit pretty good.
Who
And
was
that
Derek's last fight against?
and
Do you
I
remember?
gotta see who the last fight was. I forgot who it was, but yeah, his last fight didn't go the best, and he did get rocked pretty good. Um, let's see here. Oh yeah, it was versus Spivak or whatever. He lost this by submission. Um,
Yeah.
I think that was the last fight.
I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
the significant strikes landed per match is 3.62 and 2.54 for Derek. And the significant strike accuracy, dude, Marcos is almost at like 67%.
that's crazy.
That's pretty
Yeah,
wild for a
like
heavyweight.
yeah, because he connects. He definitely connects. But yeah, like you said, it's definitely gonna just depend on what shape he's in, how
Mm.
well his cardio is. Because there's been times where he's won like a fight, and then afterwards he's like, "I'm tired. I'm gonna go eat a cheeseburger," and he'll say some shit like that.
Dude, I will never forget when he pretty much like started dropping his shorts in the ring, and Joe was like, "Bro, what are you doing?" He's like, "Man, my balls are hot." Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, "Bro, I just got to find my balls are hot." And I was like, "Okay, I kind of like this dude."
yeah. He's
Um,
silly as hell, but
yeah,
I don't know.
that might be fight of the night actually, like between those two.
Hmm.
Next one here we got Alex Pereira.
Dude,
I find out of Brazil, and then I want to say John. It's like Jan. So Jan
John from
Blachowicz. Yeah,
Poland.
yeah,
Dude, this is gonna be such a good freaking fight. I really don't know. Like, I'm going for Alex Pereira, but I know that John. I mean,
he's 40
he's
years old. Bro, I would have never thought this dude was 40 years old.
who's that?
Blachowicz,
Oh, yeah,
Blachowicz. Yeah,
and
he's
he's the
40 years
number one,
old.
and he's the number three light heavyweight in the division.
Damn. See,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, like to y'all, like I've been out of touch with UFC. Like I followed it here and there, but like I used to follow it religiously, and then a lot of the guys that I used to like watch growing up started to retire and get out of the game,
yeah,
and I just like haven't kept up to date with it and stuff.
yeah. They get pretty banged up after a while, you know. But
Take
yeah. I mean,
it.
the one thing about this dude is that he's in great shape. A lot of the time, like his average fight time here, it says it's 13 minutes. So that means that he's going the
Yeah,
rounds and he's able to go the distance and he can keep taking it to you every round without getting gassed out. Um,
they're pretty well balanced too. Like one's six
yeah,
two, the other one's six
yeah,
four.
yeah,
40, 36 years of age, and then 78-inch reach, 79-inch reach. Like they're pretty matched up across the board, is what it looks like.
yeah. And his last fight was a draw, so I'm pretty sure like he's really itching to get in there. Um, but I don't know, man. Alex Pereira is he's just always been a badass. I mean, the guy is he's just a more complete fighter to me in my mind. Um, Majority of his wins have been by knockout as well. He only has one decision win.
Yeah,
Everything else is just him knocking someone out.
he's 7-2 right now. Alex
Uh-huh.
Pereira.
Yep.
Dude, I've never seen this before. They actually have Blachowicz negative 115, but they have Alex Pereira at negative 105. I guess
Yeah,
pretty much an
because
even card.
because it's just so close. I think Pereira might be able to edge this out just because I feel like he's a better striker. He's more accurate. He's more accurate. I mean, he he lands like 42% of his head strikes. Um,
It's crazy.
yeah, like he's usually in there tagging someone up, and it's gonna be interesting to see. I think it's gonna start off kind of slow. I don't think. Let me see. Is this round? Let me see here. I wonder. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the 3 rounds or the 5, but I kind of see maybe the first round kind of being a little slow at first, but then it start picking up. Because I mean, basically, whoever wins this fight, they're gonna have a title fight. Whoever's gonna win this fight's gonna
Yeah.
go fight the champ, the light heavyweight champ. So this is gonna be a big fight. Pereira did lose his last fight, and technically, I mean, whenever a fighter has a draw, to me, a draw is the same as a loss because you didn't win. So technically, they're both coming off a loss in my mind. So that's another thing that's exciting because they're going to be really driven to win this fight, because whoever wins this fight is gonna be next in line for to contend for the title. So it's gonna be interesting. But I don't know. I want to go out. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Pereira finishes him in the third round, and puts him down, and they get a stoppage, because I really feel like he's just a better striker when it comes to the whole thing for me personally.
Well, and this fight, like you're talking about, could have a lot of really big implications because right now the light heavyweight title is vacant.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's pretty. Dude, I haven't bought a pay per view in a long time, and
So
I really kind of want to buy this pay per view. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, because I mean, okay, so basically, whoever wins this fight would be next in line, technically, in my mind, to fight whoever wins the main card.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same weight class. Um, but yeah, this is gonna be probably the one of the best fights the whole night, because it's gonna be a lot of striking, a lot of technical uh things going on. So I'm excited.
well,
I'm
like
pretty excited for this one.
who is it vacant because John Jones moved up to heavyweight? Like the light heavyweight title, is it vacant because of that?
Um,
I wonder why it's vacant.
that's a good question. For let's see here. I can't remember. I could probably ask my buddy. I can't remember if that's the reason why. Cause well, no, the champion of the light heavyweight is Jamal Hill. Um,
Oh, why doesn't it say that then? That's weird. It just says
yeah, I don't
title's
know. I
vacant.
don't know. Yeah, but yeah, because right now John Jones is the heavyweight champ. I mean,
Yeah,
technically he could, he can move up or down, but yeah, that's weird that it says a title vacant. The only title that would, I guess, technically be vacant right now, I think, would maybe be um the BMF belt. But yeah, that's weird that it says that it's vacant, because it's not.
well, come on, computer. Well, I don't know.
I will
I might
I will
actually
tell
look
you
into
this.
buying this.
Yeah, and I will tell you this too. That's pretty significant. As far as like men's pound for pound top rank, Perry is on that list at number 11. So I mean, you know what I mean? Like he's on that list for a reason, because he has showed versatility and being able to move up and down in that weight, in his weight, from his weight class, and still be successful, and knock guys out. So that's why it's like, okay, I'm kind of more siding on him to win this fight, because I just feel like he just has more to put on the line, and more to, and just a better fighter overall because of that.
Yeah. Um, I haven't really seen Alex like fight at all.
Hmm.
I kind of want to like look up some stuff on him after we're done with this podcast to get a
Yeah,
better
check out the
feel for
highlights.
yeah for how he like actually performs and stuff. Um, 1 second here, sorry.
Good.
All right, main event.
Man, this is probably like yeah, you got your heavyweight belt and your all your main championship belts, but for me, I think the best belt to be able to carry in the UFC, in my opinion, is the BMF belt, the Bad Motherfucker Championship. I mean, both these guys are there because they are bad motherfuckers, so to speak. I mean, the last time they fought, okay, uh, I don't know. Did you ever see the last time they fought, or the first time they fought?
I watched the highlights of it and stuff, but I didn't actually get to see like the actual fight for it and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I think Poirier won too, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure he did.
I think he did. I think he did win.
Yeah, he did. He did win the last fight. He did win the last fight. So man, it's tough, because I really like HG, because he's a beast too. I just don't know if it's gonna play out much different than it did the last time. That's the only thing. Like, it's gonna be. I mean, they're both coming off of wins too, so they're both doing good. I'm hoping that it's gonna be just like last time, where it's like hardly anything on the ground. They're gonna be standing up. They're gonna be trading shots. Both guys are gonna be trying to take each other's head off. Um, if you want something crazy though, like for Justin, for Gaethje, he lands on a crazy 63% of headshots, dude, when he's fighting.
Yeah, that's nuts. That is actually nuts.
Like, he's coming for your head and he's gonna hit you. Like, you're gonna get hit in the freaking face when you're fighting this guy, and pretty often. And don't get me. And then if you think that's crazy, right? Dustin Poirier, there's a reason why he's one of the baddest men on the planet. The dude lands 80% of headshots, so he's gonna mess you up. Like, no matter what, he's gonna mess you up.
His striking has come a long way too, from when he first
Yeah.
got in there and stuff, and a couple of fights he had. Because I remember seeing him fight Connor. I think it was the second time he fought Connor and stuff. Dude, he looked so like Connor's a pretty good boxer and stuff, and he just seemed so much more technical than Connor during that fight. And that was when I was just like, okay, this guy's he's grown as a fighter, and he still has a huge amount of ceiling above him of what he can accomplish and develop from his overall ability. This fight it's obviously the main event for a reason, but it's
I want to say I feel like they gained a lot of respect from each other from that first fight, but I still know that Poirier doesn't he doesn't give a shit. Like, he's gonna go in there and he's gonna try and just destroy him. Like, there's no where the respect was gained, there's also there's no love found either. If that makes sense, you can respect someone, but you can still be like, fuck that guy, I'm gonna fuck him up, And that's pretty much how it felt like at the weigh-in and the press conference. It was kind of just Poirier's kind of just yeah, I'm gonna come back to do what it is that I did the first time, and of course Gaethje doesn't agree with that, and you kind of like there to be that tension, that animosity. That I do like the chip on the shoulder that Justin has, because he definitely has the potential to win, and if he did win, I could see them having to run it back a third time. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Especially if they split the contest.
What do they call it? The rubber match or whatever? When it's a third time? Yeah, I could see that. Especially if the fight goes as well as it did the first time and stuff. Because people, one, it's going to sell tickets. It's going to get people there. Two, you got to give these guys the ability to settle it and stuff. Especially if it's a close fight and they both put everything out there. I don't know. If one side got completely dominated, then Dana may be like, I don't know. We'll look at it. But
Gaethje has 9 finishes in the first round, but Poirier has 15 wins by knockout, and 13 of those are in the first round. Like, I'm telling you, this dude has a crazy arsenal of attacks, and he's super accurate. And he's, in my opinion, he's most scary when he's been damaged. How they say, it's kind of like how they say in the wild, sometimes the worst thing you can do is run into or an injured animal, or you know what I mean? That's when they go into that primal mode. That's Poirier. If you hit him, you cut him, he's gonna get pissed off. Yep. He's gonna mess you up, dude.
And it's weird because some people need that. You know, it's some people
just turns it on.
Yeah, need to get hit, and then that switch goes on. They're like, all right, I'm in this now. Let's do it.
And what it is that's that mechanism that everybody has. They have one of the two, and I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of it. It's called fight or flight. You're either gonna curl up when the real shit starts going down and you're threatened, or you're gonna start getting even more intense, more adrenaline. You're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna be more in it. One thing that Gaethje does have to be careful with is going to the ground, because Poirier is really good on the ground. He has 6 wins by submission, so he will get you if you're not careful. So that's going to be the interesting thing to watch for as well. If Poirier can get him on the ground, if he can score some takedowns, and if he does, he's definitely going to be making him work to keep him from getting submitted. So that's going to be another interesting to keep an eye out for. But I don't know, it's a close one. It's one of those fights where it could be over like that, but you don't want it to because of the implications.
I think
it's on top of the cake. It's hard to, it's hard to say what you would really want as a result, because either way it's going to be exciting.
But I think what's going to happen, and what you're going to see happen, is based on the first fight these two had.
Yeah.
And what they've seen each other do. So they fought each other, and they went their separate ways. And now they're back. They went through their different opponents. Now they're back. Yeah. They know what each other are capable of. I think you're going to have one or two situations. They're either going to come out and they're going to light it up right from the start, or you're going to have probably the first 2 rounds of them feeling each other out and kind of seeing like, all right, what'd you learn? You know, like what do you got in your arsenal now? And then round 3, it's gonna just pick up and they're gonna get after it. It's either gonna be quick or it's gonna be like round 3 is when it's gonna pick up.
Yeah, because this is gonna be a 5-round fight.
Yeah. So they and like you said, like this pretty much dictates who's gonna be fighting for the title after this. You know.
Yeah, that and they're also fighting for a title too. So they're fighting for the bad motherfucker championship, but of course you can still go and win the division, like the divisional championship. So that's you got a chance at being an undisputed champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A 2-belt holding champion, kind of like how Conor was at one point.
I think it's pretty cool that they allow that stuff to happen too, because like sometimes like no, you can't like really float weights and stuff. I think that's awesome. That like
absolutely
Conor like kind of created that opportunity for other fighters, because now you get those cross divisional like matchups where it's like, oh, how would this guy actually do like at a lighter weight, or how would this guy do like being a little bit heavier? You know, like it just creates those stories now and those opportunities for people. So. I mean, look at John Jones, bro. Like everybody was like, John Jones is a heavyweight that drops down to light heavyweight or whatever, and he just dominates everybody. You know, he probably wouldn't hang with these guys, and he's like, okay, and he goes and does it, and he submits the champ or whatever. Like he just goes up there and just does his thing, and it's like, the dude's the best. Like he's the best.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too? Another interesting fact that also makes like an excitement factor, an element of like a how can I put this, like not an element of surprise, but just like a different like dangerous element in there. Both these guys average fight time, like for a fight, right, is 10 minutes.
Oh yeah,
about 10 minutes. So that means that both of them, even in like a standard 3-round fight, they're winning. Most of the time they're winning, or when they do win, it's in like 10 minutes. So they're winning in by the second round. That's just how explosive and how like dynamic that they are, that it's like by the second round it's decided, you know. So the fact that they're both coming in there and facing each other, you know that it could be over like at any second. That's the other thing that's going to make it even more exciting, is that both these guys have the ability to make it end like in the first or the second round, and this is going to be a 5-round fight. I don't see it going 5 rounds though. I just don't.
Okay. So let's go back through. Let's recap real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you got between Michael Chiesa and Kevin Holland. You were going Kevin Holland, right?
Kevin Holland.
Okay, I'm going Kevin Holland as well. Tony Ferguson, Bobby Green. You're going Bobby?
Yeah, I'm going with Bobby.
I'm going with Bobby there too. Derek Lewis or Marcos? Who you going there?
Oh man, you know what? I know it's against the odds, but I gotta go with Derek Lewis, man. I gotta go with Big D. I think he's gonna go out there. I think he's gonna be better shape, ready. I think he's gonna recover from this loss that he had, and ready to kick some ass. So it's gonna be that's gonna be one that I think he's gonna pull out the maybe a knockout maybe.
I'm going Derek Lewis just because I think he's awesome. Like I think he's just a funny guy. I like him. Okay, Blachowicz or Alex Pereira?
I gotta go with Pereira.
I'm gonna go Blachowicz, and the reason I'm gonna go with this here is I'm just gonna go with experience.
Yeah,
he's 29 9-1. Alex is 7-2, and the thing is, I don't know much about Alex as far as like fights. I haven't seen him fight, and I don't know. He could just go in there and just be a buzzsaw and just cut right through Blachowicz, but I don't know, like. The guy's got experience there. He might know how to like, kind of gas this younger guy out and a little bit unexperienced, because this does have like implications on it as well. So Alex could be a little too hyped up for this fight,
I will say this. Those Polish fighters, man, those guys from Poland,
they're tough, dude.
Yeah, they're badass motherfuckers. I mean, they're tough fighters. I mean, just in the general in the world, I think like the Polish people can definitely be proud of the fact that they produce some of the strongest people in the world. Like when you talk about like strongman competitions and all that stuff, And then when it comes to fighters, I mean, they really do have some guys representing the country that are and women that are tough.
So,
Like even if they don't win a lot, whatever, but they're still tough. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like they're formidable opponents always. So yeah, you never know. That dude might pull it off against Pereira because he definitely has a skill set.
I'm gonna go him. So that's the only one we disagree on there. And then Dustin Poirier and Justin, is it Gaethje? Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Gaethje?
I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, Gaethje.
Gaethje. Okay, so Dustin or Poirier or Gaethje? Which one are you going with?
I'm gonna have to go with Poirier, man. He's just too bad. Like he's just that much like, and I hate it because I love both of them, and they're both great. But it's just like I feel like Poirier is just like that much more better. Like he just has a little bit more of an output, a little bit more of accuracy in striking, and just a little bit more consistent in tagging someone up. And I think that's gonna help him get over the hump, and you might just see him win in the same fashion that he did last time.
I'm gonna go Gaethje, man. I think like
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with him just in the aspect of one, it's hard to beat a guy twice, especially with how
Yeah.
the first fight went.
Yeah.
Both fighters have improved significantly since the time they fought each other.
Absolutely.
And I don't know, I'm gonna go Gaethje just to make it like interesting between us. Poirier is favored, but it's pretty close, like favored, so it's almost like even. It would not surprise me by tomorrow before that fight if it became like closer, like almost an even bet, like a split.
Yeah.
Because he's negative 150 and Gaethje's plus 125, so that could easily like switch. But yeah, I'm gonna go Gaethje, man. I think with what he can bring to the table, and especially after that first fight and everything, like he's gonna improve. He might bring something out too that we haven't seen yet. So, but Dustin is pretty bad, dude. Like he is pretty bad, dude.
Yeah, and I
So
mean, like I said, I wouldn't be mad at all if Gaethje is on his revenge tour right now and finds a way to pull out and really takes it to them because it does set up what will be a highly anticipated rubber match. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
um,
but I just know one thing that if Gaethje gets on the ground with him, he better get his ass up pretty. See, that's the thing. Like, how do you deal with somebody that has been known to submit people, has multiple submission victories? It's like you're not safe. It doesn't matter if you're on
yeah,
the ground,
yeah.
you're not safe. If you're standing out, you're standing up, you're definitely not safe. So that's what's exciting. But I feel like Gaethje's best bet is gonna be on his feet and not be on the ground with him at all because the longer he's on the ground with Poirier, the less that I feel like the less of a chance he's gonna have to win that fight, and especially if it goes to a decision. If it did go to a decision, I don't see it going to a decision, but if it did, um, it's gonna be a matter of how much work did Poirier get done on the ground with him, because I think that's where his points are gonna be coming from, aside from the strikes, because they're gonna strike each other. They're both very accurate with striking. But that's going to be the interesting thing to see if him being on the ground is going to be utilized, or if it's just going to be nothing but strikes. But me personally, I hope they're just on their feet going at it. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. It's gonna be a great card regardless. Like with what we got to
Yeah,
offer, and or like I say we, but like what this fight card has to offer and what's been brought together by everybody. Like it's definitely gonna be a good card for sure. I'm actually considering like possibly getting this. Gotta clear it with the wifey first though, with the funds and stuff because they are expensive. But if not, I may go watch it somewhere. See if B Dubs or something close by is playing it.
yeah,
Definitely
dude.
go
I
watch
mean,
it.
definitely, and I mean it'll save you some money. For those of you who don't know, or if you're interested in watching, if you have ESPN Plus, then you probably already know it's about $80. If you don't, it's more than 110 because you'd have to basically the way it's set up, which I think is kind of stupid, but you have to, if you're gonna watch the pay-per-view, you have to have ESPN Plus. So if you're gonna buy the pay-per-view, you also have to buy a subscription to ESPN Plus, so it makes it more expensive. So with that being
I
said,
have ESPN Plus. I just don't know if I know my freaking login, dude. To be honest with
oh,
you.
okay. Well, with that being said, it is kind of pricey pay-per-view. So if you can go out and watch it somewhere, like a local bar or a restaurant or somewhere, I'd recommend it because it's probably the cheapest option that you have. to be quite honest. But yeah, if there was ever a pay-per-view or a UFC pay-per-view to purchase or to like actually go out to watch, this will be the one. This would definitely be the one. And there's gonna be early fights too. The preliminaries are gonna start like at 6, so those are free. You don't need you just need well, actually, you know what? Those are gonna be on ABC and ESPN, so you don't even need to watch that on ESPN Plus. And then there's even earlier prelims I think that start at CDT. What is that? Central
It'd be Central Time, like
Central
CST.
Time.
Yeah, it'd be Central Time.
Well, it says CDT. I'm not sure what
Oh,
that is.
CDT.
Yeah, what is CDT?
Where's the fights being held at?
Uh, hell, I don't even know. Oh, it's in Salt Lake City.
Oh, Salt Lake City. Yeah, so it's like Mountain Time.
Oh, okay, it's like Mountain Time. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're gonna have the prelim. There's quite a couple fights. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 fights like before the main events or the main card. So, yeah, it's gonna be a good chunk of that, and then it's gonna be a good day tomorrow. So, man, the lucky people that are gonna get to be there at that fight, they're very fortunate.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. It's gonna be awesome. I hope it lives up to the potential because like you know how sometimes these pay-per-views can go, these fights can go. There's all this hype built up
Yeah.
around them, and then you get into some of these, and it's like, bro, that was a snooze fest. Like, what is going on? You know, and stuff. But Dana's good about that stuff. Like he acknowledges when things have been bad in the past or like fights they put together they thought were going to be explosive, good for the customer, and they weren't. So then they turned around and he makes it up. He'll usually make it up with a better event and things like that. So you got anything else, man? Before we wrap it up?
No, that was mostly it. I know there's not a whole lot to cover, when it comes to UFC. But it is fun to watch, and I mean, even for the people that feel like they don't know as much, really you learn more by just watching
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
just learning the fighters' names, and it can be fun to watch. So if anyone watching ever has any feedback or any comments, or if you do you think someone else is gonna win that we don't, or something that we don't know, man, feel free to share with us because I'm always trying to learn more about the sport, MMA, and the whole thing all together because there's a lot of exciting versions of MMA you can watch. There's the PFL, there's bare knuckle boxing. There's a couple of other leagues too that you can watch, and it's not just like UFC. And there's a lot of guys that come from those leagues or come from international fighting leagues that'll come and fight in the UFC. That's why like you'll see somebody's record will be like I don't know 27-11, but in the UFC they're 8-1
Yeah, there you go.
or
Yeah.
they're 9 undefeated because they fought mixed martial arts in other leagues or around the world and stuff. So it's always cool to see like when you see a fighter that comes from somewhere else or from out of the country and it's like selling the UFC and then they're just kicking ass. So that's always exciting to see. So I definitely recommend it for everyone.
Yeah, for those of you guys tuning in, watching the video, leave us comments down below on who you think's going to win from the fights that we had. We'll kind of do like a recap the next episode, look back and see like how we did with our picks and everything. We are getting ready to pick up NFL. We'll probably be covering that next season, or not next season, but next episode. We already had some issues come up in preseason training camps with some big key players around the league. So we'll definitely be covering that. We'll be talking about the trades, some more potential like signings and stuff before the season gets kicked off. And then we'll cover our fantasy football league that we're going to be putting together this year. We got some other streamers,
Yeah.
content creators that have like shown interest in it and stuff. So it's going to be a free league. Just be done for bragging rights and everything. But leave us a comment down below. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like the video, baby. Helps push it.
We'll definitely have to do something talking about the NFL coming up because it's getting closer to football and there's already a lot of I want to say unfortunate drama unfolding as
Oh
far
yeah.
as injuries,
Oh
as
yeah.
far as like
And
players
hell,
not being happy with their pay.
Hall of Fame games in like what, a week?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
So
Well, Grandpa Rogers. I'm gonna start calling him Grandpa Rogers, dude. The dude. Look, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be old, but I saw a picture of Aaron Rodgers and I realized, like, dude, this dude looks like he's 50 and he
okay,
should
yeah,
not
yeah.
be on the
What's
No,
it?
that doesn't mean he can't play. I'm not gonna sit here. Look. I don't want to do what I did last summer when I talked smack about Geno Smith and he pretty much like
Yeah,
made me eat my words.
bro.
Because
He
that
made both
could
of us look
happen.
bad.
That could happen, but I'm just saying, for all intents and purposes, like as far as visuals go, Aaron Rodgers does look like he should be at home with the kids
Dude,
and the grandkids, and not on the football field because
I saw
he's looking kind of old,
I
bro.
saw the poster for that for the Hall of Fame game today, and I
Yeah,
was like, dude, Aaron Rodgers looks like Joe Namath.
dude, it looks like the poster should be his retirement party, dude.
Like if they put like longer hair on him and stuff,
Oh man,
he looks kind
dude.
of like Joe Namath. It's kind of crazy in that Jets uniform.
I just saying, guys. Like I'm not trying to shame him for aging and all that, but it's just like when it comes in terms of football and a sport like that, it's not too often you see a guy that looks that gray and that wrinkled playing in the game anymore. So to be
Um,
to be fair,
hey, I will say this about Aaron Rodgers: he set a NFL record for being a quarterback that's never taken a pay cut to finally take a pay cut. He actually restructured his deal and took a pay cut with the Jets, and so the Jets are pursuing Dalvin Cook now. There might be a signing for them and everything,
that would
but
be big for them.
we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, we'll be covering that next week. We're covering a lot of NFL. We'll be covering a lot of NFL, college football, things like that as we continue to pick up here. But we appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all have a good one. Hopefully you guys enjoy the fights. If you do, go out and watch them. Be safe. Enjoy yourselves. Get home safe and everything. Be responsible.
And no matter what the drinks tell you, you are not a UFC fighter.
Yes.
So don't get too hyped in that move.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it happen before. So guys, I don't know what it is, but having the fights on and some guys are drunk and they think that they can
Like,
get
I
me.
can do that, you know?
No, you can't.
No, you
No,
cannot.
you can't.
Sit down, buddy.
Yeah.
We appreciate you all, though. Once again, I'm Pat, Selfless_gaming on Twitch, kick.com, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. And then we have Fourth Quarter Fanatics. That is our Twitter account for our program here, podcast. Well, Jacob, go ahead and remind them of your stuff, man.
Hey, you guys can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and also a Facebook. That's a platform we like to use a lot. I also have a page on there as well. And yeah, let us know what your thoughts are. Like I said, it could be about the fights. It could be UFC coming up. It's not too long before the NBA season starts, so this is a good time of year. It's almost as good as when Christmas is around the corner because
Yeah.
you just have all these sports starting up. There's a lot of stuff to cover, and it's just good when regular sports on the schedule. Then, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Hey, y'all remember to take care of yourselves. Remember to take care of each other, and y'all have a good one. Peace.
Laters.
All right, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely get that.